Welcome to Theater Therapy, a podcast for movie lovers who treat going to the movie theater like a therapy session. With co-hosts Aly and Ems, we geek out and deep dive into all things movies, including top picks, movie reviews, best soundtracks, our current hyperfixations, and more. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy today's session.
Welcome back to another session of Theater Therapy. Today, we are finally talking about
some Marvel movies.
One of my favorites. Yeah, Marvel movies. If you've been listening to us since day one, you've probably heard me mention a few times that I used to be a really big Marvel fan, and I'm disappointed by how much they suck nowadays and how they're just going
downhill very fast.
So fast.
Like
from what we were to where we are now.
What happened, y'all?
My heart literally aches.
It's so sad. It's honestly so sad.
Honestly, I feel like I lost a loved one. I grieve.
Honestly,
I grieve Marvel every day.
Endgame 2 was so emotionally destroying to me that, not having anything worth watching really since then.
That used to be the number one movies that we looked forward to.
But the thing is, too, is, the fandom, united over those coming out, too. Nowadays, nobody even cares. Literally. No. And, all of us are sad about it. The energy of going to the theater on a release night and, the theater being full of big Marvel fans was, unmatched. Yeah. And now it's,
it's gone. And
we even had that since No Way Home from Spider-Man.
Yeah. We no longer have any big movie trilogies or, series. Not really. Or anything, because
a really big
Star Wars is done.
Dune will be the next one.
Yeah, and even then, we went opening weekend, and it doesn't feel the same.
No,
it's exciting, and it's the crowd is full, but nothing beats a Marvel movie release night.
Yeah, it's true.
So that I used to go opening night. I'd go multiple times in a weekend to these movies. Endgame is the first movie that made me cry since I was a little kid. I actually don't know if a movie made me cry.
You didn't cry in Infinity War?
No. I didn't cry in Infinity War. I was in shock and I was in denial, and because of the part 2 I had hope.
Dude, Infinity War got me from the beginning. Once Loki died, I was crying.
Yeah, no, I didn't. But Endgame,
I cried the entire movie. I'm not kidding. You can ask my friends that I went with. I was sobbing. Yeah. I was full-on sobbing the entire time. I went with my 2 best guy friends. We went to Marvel movies together in high school. And I'm not kidding. They were, ignoring me. They're like, she's a nightmare. I was, the whole movie, I could not keep it together.
I mean, yeah, it starts off rough. I didn't start, I was, emotional and stuff, but I didn't start to lose it until Natasha, Black Widow. Really? And then, but no, from that point on, I kid you not, I was hiccuping. I was full body, shaking, sobbing until the end of the movie.
Hawkeye's family died, I cried. Yeah. I'm not kidding. I was
yeah, you're a big
I
softie.
Shed tears. I pretty much did not stop crying the entire movie. Either happy tears at certain parts or tears of sadness for the most part. But
it's a roller coaster of a movie.
Oh, so yeah, that's the one that made me cry most out of all of them. But we were going to rank yeah,
let's get back on track. We will do more Marvel movie discussions in the future. For sure.
So we're going to rank our top 20.
And you will not be surprised to find that some of the newest ones are not included.
I haven't even seen some of the newest ones.
Neither have I. That's how much.
The last one I saw in theater.
It's just lost it for me. Love and Thunder.
Did that come out after Doctor Strange?
I think so.
I think that was July. Doctor Strange was February. Yeah. Was Thor Love and Thunder. We have not seen a single thing.
We seriously walked out of that theater and I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
We haven't told each other our rankings. No. We did actually rank them too, 1 to 20. Yeah. Do you want to start with least to best?
Sure. Yeah, let's go backwards. Yeah. Okay. And some of these I have to preface. Maybe we should talk just a little bit about background of when I got into Marvel, because I have not been a Marvel fan as long as Aly has been.
Yeah.
She made me watch them. The first one I ever saw in theater was Captain America Civil War. So anything prior to that, I hadn't seen in theater and I wasn't as excited about.
It took you a long time.
And I started off with Thor because that's how she got me interested. She's like, okay, just watch one of them with me. And I will say I'm not a huge Iron Man fan, so I don't really know a lot about those movies. I do have those ones on my list because I like them more than some older ones. But if you were to ask me what's the plot, I'd be like, I don't actually know.
Yeah. I mean, it's fair. You know, there's a few in this cinematic universe that I'm not as obsessed with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's start from the
but
top
we'll
20.
Start from the
Let's start from 20. For me, Iron Man 3.
Really?
Because again, I've seen it a whole of one time. The second one's my number 19. So I've only seen each of them. I've only seen those ones each once. But I remember that I enjoyed them. I'm not a huge Iron Man fan. So
yeah. 20 is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, really?
Honestly, Guardians of the Galaxy, not my favorite.
I would agree with that. Mine's a different spot on my list.
I didn't care. Like, it was good. It was fine.
About that one,
it's just so different. It's a completely different vibe from the other ones.
And the humor and jokes are very different.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
what's
Guardians
your 19?
of the Galaxy was 20. 19 is Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh. I'm telling you right now, that one's not even on my top 20.
Really?
I did not really enjoy it, that one, as much.
I enjoyed it better than some other
The first one I like way better, and you'll see where it's at on my list.
Yeah.
That one, Ant-Man and the Wasp, it didn't hit for me.
It was fine.
It was fine.
I enjoyed it well enough.
I didn't love the plot line, so I'm just like, it's just...
Yeah, and because the first one was so funny, yes. I expected that one to be just as funny more, but it wasn't.
No, and that's my problem with it, I think.
But the reason it's on my list because the other options put on my list were worse. So
I know, that's
why
that's where a couple of them are.
That's why it's there.
18. For me, Guardians 2.
Did you say what your 19 is?
19's Iron Man 2.
Okay, yeah,
remember?
Sorry.
Yeah, for me, 18 is Guardians 2.
Really?
Yeah. I put it on there, honestly, as kind of a filler because, again, other options were worse for me. And so...
Guardians 2 isn't even on my list.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't remember much of the plot. It's kind of like Iron Man. It's... Honestly, I don't know why I didn't put it as 20 because it's actually lower than Iron Man for me. I might be switching that around.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's actually I was feeling these top four, well, like 16 through 20, honestly, were just kind of fillers. I actually don't care about any of these movies really that much.
Okay, so switch that around. Iron Man your 18,
maybe yeah.
Is your 18?
Yeah.
Oh,
I meant 2 or 3. They're kind of interchangeable at this point.
Yeah, so my 18 is Iron Man 1, like the original.
Oh, really? I thought that'd be higher on your list.
No, because you know what? That's my least favorite Iron Man movie. Oh. Actually, Iron Man 3 didn't even make it on my list, so that's my least favorite.
Honestly, I feel like I honestly, peer pressure. I put them on there because I feel like people are like, you don't like Iron Man?
Iron Man is like, who kicked it off. He was...
I know, and people are so obsessed with him, but honestly, his movies are not as good as, like, they're good. They're just, to me, they're not as entertaining as the other ones.
Yeah, so, like, the first one, like, I put it on there, like, more nostalgia, like...
Yeah, I love RDJ, but I find Iron Man to be a very annoying character. Really? In his movies. Yeah. I like him better later on. His character growth I like more. But in his movie specifically, he bugs me.
Yeah, see, the first one, it is, yeah. I can get what you're saying.
He's not as enjoyable. But Iron Man 1 is actually higher on my list.
See, the first one, it just moves so slowly for me. And I'm not a huge fan of, like, the storyline's progression.
Honestly,
I wish it moved.
This now that we're talking about
I know, you should have. I went through my list thought about it, though, 3 times.
I forgot some of this stuff, and so once talking about this with you, I'm like, oh, actually... I know.
I mean, to be fair, you're not quite still as into it as I am.
No, yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, 17, Doctor Strange, the first one.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not even on my list.
Really?
No Doctor Strange.
Honestly, it wasn't... This one's it's just kind of cool because it's like different.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange number 2 is not on my list. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like that one's fun just because it is a little bit darker in some senses, and I love Benedict Cumberbatch, and so
see, I don't.
Oh, I think he's a great actor, so I enjoyed his performance, and I feel like honestly that's a really interesting role though. If you really look at it, like that's a very interesting role to play.
See, he does a fine job and stuff. He's just not. He doesn't do it for me, like you know.
That. Okay,
it just wasn't the same.
16.
I didn't even say my 17.
Oh, well, what is yours?
Spider-Man: Homecoming.
What?
Yeah.
Why is that so low?
Because it just doesn't.
I'm surprised.
It doesn't match the others for me.
I mean, you're not wrong. Because it's a really good movie, but it's not the level that they rose the other two to. Honestly, is insane.
Yeah, and like it's like it was a fine movie, fine introduction, but like
okay, actually,
I also had to think of it in Spider-Man.
Can we talk for just a second about Spider-Man: Homecoming, and specifically Tom Holland's Spider-Man? I love Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but here's the thing that I actually kind of wish they did different is. I wish they gave us his actual origin story. Like, I wish we got him getting bitten. I'm like, honestly, why didn't we get to see that?
Because we had seen it so many times before.
I know, but like, and where they made his a little bit different, like, there's no Uncle Ben. We just have Aunt May. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I feel like it would have actually been really interesting to see the different way it happened for him. And I'm like, because they don't even talk about how he got bitten. Like, they mention it briefly, but they don't talk about, like, was it at a lab? Like, which lab was it at? Are we doing, like, because, in Tobey Maguire's and then Andrew Garfield's, it's different how it happens. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, which way did it happen for him?
Yeah, you could have, like, seriously just done some flashbacks or something.
Or, like, name dropped the lab or something. I'm so curious. Although I will say, the way they ended No Way Home, with him going back to his roots of being Spider-Man, if they go in and make more, I feel like we might get more of that, actually.
Yeah, we could. But, again, how Marvel's been tracking lately.
I'm nervous.
We just might not ever get that chance because they're not going... Like, at some point, they're going to say, hey, this isn't working. We're going to just nix these and, like, take a break.
Oh, 16 for me is Guardians of the Galaxy, number 1.
Why?
Honestly, I don't love either Guardians movie or actually any of them. I never even saw the third one.
Yeah, it just barely came out. Like,
yeah, I never saw it. The first one I've seen a couple times. It's funny. It's whatever. I don't love those types of jokes though.
And also Chris Pratt.
Okay, he's
been better in other movies. You can't
Jurassic
tell me
World?
him.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but
it's like completely different man.
I'm
Jurassic World, him,
but him as Owen in Jurassic World does it for me way more than Peter. Whatever his face.
Peter is like, ugh.
Isn't his name Peter?
Yeah, Peter Quill.
Yeah, ew, I hate him in that movie.
He's just not...
I just don't like it.
Mine's Black Widow.
Did I even put that on here? Nope, I didn't put that on here. Honestly, wait, I need a drink.
Yeah, a couple more minutes and then we'll...
Yeah. I didn't even put Black Widow on here because as much as I wanted to love that movie...
I know, honestly...
I have not gone back and watched it. I've only watched it the one time in the theater.
I've watched it a couple more times. It's probably ranked higher than it should be, but that's because I'm a Natasha girly.
You are.
She's my favorite, but so see, like I couldn't not. And I enjoyed it. I wanted it to be better.
I mean, and I loved her, and I loved Yelena. Pugh. Yeah. But everything else of the movie, I didn't love the plot line. I honestly was like, why?
I know they could have done a lot better with the plot.
Yeah, I could understand where they wanted to go. They just didn't get there, in my opinion.
But, I mean, still, like, I still had to put it on there. And I still, like, if I was going to choose, like, right now, this is kind of how I went through some of my lists, too. I'm like, what would I rather watch, like, on any given day? That beats out those other ones that have been lower than it. Because I love Natasha, I love Yelena. It has very funny moments. The costuming I thought was fun. Their hairstyles I loved.
It's not on my list because I wouldn't choose to watch it.
Yeah, well, you just suck.
I don't know.
Okay?
I just wouldn't.
It's Natasha.
I haven't gone back to watch it since we watched in the theater, dude.
Really? See, like, if I want to cry, I turn on Black Widow or I turn on Endgame. Because Black Widow just makes me so sad because Natasha's gone and then, like, Yelena doesn't get to have her sister anymore. And, like, it just hits me just a little bit, you know?
I see that? Okay.
So I really like it.
15. Captain America First Avenger.
Same!
Really?
Yes!
No way.
Yeah.
Wait, that's so funny. Okay, why for you?
Because it's just like...
I have to have it on here because Captain America's are so good.
That's the one that I watched first. Like, that's what started it all for me. But it's kind of boring. And,
it is.
And I can... For some reason, I just can't get past how ridiculous he looks.
When
he's the little him.
Well, and plus, like, some of his costuming, they did him so dirty. Yeah. Like, it's just... Like, his first outfit, I get that it was, like, a costume, but, like...
Right. But it's just...
And, like, but, like, I have that on here because, like, it is like his origin story. Yeah. And there are some really good moments, and it's a very well made movie.
It is, and I mean,
it beats out some of the other ones for sure. Like as far as like production wise, I think it's pretty dang good, especially where like it's set and so far.
Chris Evans,
that's the Chris mother effing Evans.
He does a fantabulous job as
Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers, forgetting his name.
I was gonna say as Chris Evans.
so it has Steve, to be on here.
He is him
through and through.
Like he is just a beautiful soul, and like I will never get over the fact that I will never see him again. I'm gonna tear. Like I can feel myself tearing up.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on
right now because I will never get to see him again.
This is the first Aly crying on the podcast over losing characters.
I'm like, it makes me so sad.
It is sad
that I'll never get to see him as Captain America again.
Not you actually tearing up.
I'm just telling you, if I think about it too much,
obviously,
I still cry.
Usually I'm the emotional one.
I know, still, like, if you turned on Endgame today, I would cry. And it would be the ending with Steve.
Which is why I haven't watched it in a while, because it makes me cry every time.
I know, that's why I'm like, I don't get to watch it all the time, because,
it's so emotional.
It kills me every time.
It's honestly
everything hurts, but the fact that Steve gives up the mantle and comes back as an old man just kills me, and it just makes me so sad that I'll never get to see that and experience it again. Anyways,
let's keep going. 14, Iron Man 1 for me.
Spider-Man Far From Home.
What?
Yeah.
What?
There's just others that I enjoy as a whole and hold in a higher regard.
You're going to be shocked where that one is for me. You're going to be shook.
Yeah. Well, why Iron Man 1 for you?
Just because, like, nostalgic reasons, I feel like, even, like, I don't love him as a character, his first one, like, I mean, that is also the first movie that came out, so it's just kind of, like...
Yeah.
And it's, like, for its time, it's a really, like, well-made movie, and it's really fun, so, like, you know... I've seen that one the most out of his movies. I've seen that one like 2 or 3 times.
I mean, it kicked off
the whole thing.
The whole cinematic universe. One of the most amazing things we've ever had in cinematic history.
Like all the little like drops of like foreshadowing like that they have in that. Especially like the end credit scene with Nick Fury. And like it's just so good.
13.
Black Panther.
Ant-Man.
Really? I'm surprised.
Yeah, why?
I don't know, because like we quote that one all the time, and like it's one of our. Like we watched it a lot though. At least I have.
I haven't watched it quite as much as you probably have.
Actually, probably true. I think I watched it.
I liked it, and that's when like I was like in my height of the Marvel days.
Yeah.
And I was like, Ant-Man, what is this gonna be about? And then I was really pleasantly surprised.
Gosh, hang on, I'm hitting stuff and dropping stuff.
I was really pleasantly surprised, laughing, great movie, really enjoyed it. There's just others I enjoy more.
I think.
And that I
think for me, because I'm not as into action movies quite as much as you are in that sense. Like, I like sci-fi. You're more into, like,
the action.
Superhero, like, action movies. That I think that I like that one more than you because it is so comedic.
Yeah.
That makes it more enjoyable for me to watch because it's not just for the action, it's for like the comedy aspect of it, because that one has me cackling. That movie to me is so comedy gold.
There's some action scenes in it. It's just not the same as some.
I would say the action is very different. I think that's probably why we have different opinions on it. Okay, so we're on number 12. This is where I put Spider-Man: Homecoming. For me.
Oh, you're gonna die.
What?
Spider-Man: No Way Home.
What? Are you actually serious?
I'm not kidding,
Why are all your Spider-Mans not in the top 10? You didn't put a single one of them in top 10?
Mm-mm.
What the hell is wrong with you?
He's new blood. And, like, it was good, but that was post-Endgame.
I'm wondering what the heck is left for your top 10.
It was post-Endgame.
Okay, but that was the best one post-Endgame, dude.
It was.
That one made me cry. That one was so...
It was really good.
I mean, Tom Holland's acting in that movie. I know.
But here's the thing.
And
Spider-Man was never one of my favorites out of the core Avengers.
He wasn't a core 6.
I know. So, like, he can't be in the top 10. Like, I really enjoyed his movies.
I think you know I was going to hate that because you know how much I love Spider-Man.
I know. But
like I said, you're going to be shocked where the rest of mine are.
I know,
that's the only one that's not my top 10 is Homecoming.
Here's the thing, though. Like, it was great. And I even said, like, after we watched it, you know, that is the most unique and probably one of the greatest superhero movies ever made.
Yeah.
And ever will be made because of how they were able to do it. Like, it's so unique and bringing together, like,
the action that
actors from all the others.
All the action sequences.
Yeah, it's crazy. And
fighting.
It's great. And it's amazing.
I mean, his fight with Green Goblin is just, like, insane.
I feel like, though, like, I would have loved it just, like, it would have been bumped up if I had been a Tobey Maguire fan. Like, if I had been with it from the beginning, maybe.
See,
but because, me, like,
have you even watched his?
I watched all of his, like, literally the week
just to watch it. No,
and I had seen some of them when we were younger, like, clips and stuff. I remembered a lot of them, but it wasn't. It's not nostalgic. It's not the same.
I got into Spider-Man more than you because we grew up on The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield, but I did watch all of Tobey Maguire's before, like, years before you did, and so I had seen them, and so, like, I enjoyed them a lot. I still do think I like Andrew Garfield's more than his, but
I mean, it's just made in a different time, different styles.
But, like, I really enjoyed those ones, so I was very excited for them to make an appearance because I had some of the more, like, nostalgic feelings. Not as much as some of the fandom, because I know some of the fandom was huge fans because. Yeah.
So, like, that's part of it for me. The other part is...
That one is actually... I guess that one is kind of made for the fandom if you're...
Yeah.
It makes sense.
And so, like... And I can, like...
Appreciate
I agree that it's, like, the greatest superhero movie we've probably ever seen. Like, it's unique. It's amazing. It was done very well. I enjoyed it. I cried. One of the best last ones that they've had. And, like, a great way to end off,
That's the best one I've seen since Endgame.
Yeah.
Like, in post... What is that?
But yeah,
phase 5 or phase 4, whatever.
Part of it is though is like you always were way more into the whole Zendaya, Tom Holland.
I am a fan of them.
I've never liked them. Since the first movie, I don't buy them together. I don't like them together, and so that is lacking for me throughout the movies.
Literally, all my TikTok has been today is them together this week at events, and I'm going like.
Yeah, I don't really. Whatever for the real world, I just don't see the chemistry and like they just don't connect for me. I don't see it. And so I struggle with that's like one of my main complaints about the Spider-Man movies is that I'm not a fan of Zendaya and
what
him
about them
together.
Do you not get?
What?
What about them do you not
it just doesn't like connect. Like they just don't
Really?
fit.
Have you not seen the interviews?
I have and I'm like, why? I like it just.
Okay, we're talking about this more later because
that's
weird.
That's a big part of it for me though, because like I've never liked them as a unit together.
Okay, well, let's move on. 11. Thor Ragnarok.
What? Why? Why is that so low?
11? That's in the middle. It's in the middle. That is okay. Well, Thor: Love and Thunder, first of all, not even on the list.
Well, yeah. Why
but
would
honestly.
It be?
The other two are more nostalgic for me because we watched them first. Thor Ragnarok is an amazing movie. I really enjoy that one. I will watch it. But Thor 1 and 2 are significantly more nostalgic for me because those are the first two Marvel movies I ever watched.
That's fair.
And I hyperfixated on them a lot because you got you got me into them with those two specifically. We watched them back to back.
And we watched like Thor: The Dark World a lot.
And so those two are very nostalgic for me, so they're higher on the list because I'm more likely to watch them than in Ragnarok, even though I love Ragnarok, and I like honestly that one's amazing. Yeah. It's so amazing. It's amazing. Like it's amazing. Hela, but I would watch Loki. The other two. I do love Loki in that one, and that one's
Thor.
There's a lot of really good stuff, but like I said, the first two are more nostalgic for me.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. I'll allow it, but you're insane. I don't think you're.
Hey, you're insane for Spider-Man. So you know what? Let me have my thing.
Okay.
What's your 11?
Captain America: Civil War.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, not top 10 for you.
I didn't love the villain in that one.
Oh, I can see what you mean.
I can't remember how you say his name. Something like that. I can't remember how you say it.
Me neither.
I enjoyed getting to see, you know, a lot of our characters together.
It's basically like an Avengers movie, but just a little bit different.
But they're, like, fighting against each other. And, like, I had fun with it. It just wasn't one of my favorites.
See, that one's higher on the list because it was the first one I ever saw in theater. And I'll tell you where it's at. That's why.
And, like, I do enjoy a lot of it. Again, Captain America is my man. I mean,
yeah.
Bucky, we get to see a lot of him and, like, kind of their reunion in that. And then I do really enjoy getting to meet, like, Black Panther. And we meet, like, we get to see Ant-Man.
Black Widow, that
we get to meet
badass.
Spider-Man.
I love her.
Yeah. So, like, it's really fun. And we do get to see more of...
I like that you see Ant-Man. I like that, they bring in some...
And the Scarlet
Wanda.
Witch. Yeah, we see Wanda some
and
more.
Vision.
I guess she's not technically Scarlet Witch yet.
Yeah, but Wanda and Vision, that one are really good. Yeah,
so, like, I enjoy getting, like, to see everybody together. See, that's just not one of my favorites. Yeah.
Again, I think you're going to be so surprised by my top 3, actually. Well, she's probably not number 1, but the other 2 you're going to be surprised by. Okay. So, number 10. You say yours first. You might kill me for mine.
Why would I? What is it?
Endgame.
That's your 10?
It's my number 10.
That's fair.
Oh, good. Just because, like, obviously, that one's amazing. But again, for rewatchability, because it's so emotional, I can only handle it.
Yeah.
So often.
See, yeah.
But of course, it's in the top 10 because that is one of the best movies I've ever seen. Because the build up to that was so insane.
I mean, you had like 10 years of
plus you had Infinity War a whole year before.
Yeah.
That you had to, like, the way that one ended, that you had to wait. And because that one, I have such visceral memories of seeing that one in the theater. I'm not kidding. And it was such an emotional experience.
I know. I don't think I will ever experience a movie
I don't think
quite that intensely ever again.
And we went on opening weekend on Friday night, and, like, the audience was full. You know, the energy was unmatched. So, like, that one, honestly, like, like I said, I don't think I'll ever have quite...
No, I don't think any movie could. Because, like, again,
the
for
build-up.
Yeah, same.
I mean, like, there's years. And I honestly hadn't, like I said, I hadn't been in it as long. I'd only been in it for, like, 3 or 4 years at that point of being a fan. And so, still, like, the build-up, though, was just so insane of, like, so much background. Plus Infinity War being out only a year before. Like, it's just... It was crazy. So that's my number 10. That's where I put it.
Yeah, I went 3 times opening weekend, and I sobbed
every time.
Through every time.
It's amazing. So what's your number 10?
Thor.
Oh, the first one?
Yeah. Just because, I mean, you'll kind of notice a trend. Most of the first
are lower on your list.
Lower on my list. Because, like, you got to have them. They're great.
But they are a little slower paced because there's so much
story building
and world building for each specific person.
Yep. And, like, all the background
all the characters and everything.
And it's when they're all, like, a little,
they're
like...
all babies.
They're all
Oh, my gosh.
green,
If you watch the first Thor, you'll be like...
I know. You, like, don't even recognize him now.
Baby.
And, like, they just, like, they're getting into their characters.
Yeah. Because like, I will say their performances aren't as quite well formed.
Right. Like, it's a little more staged filling.
But at the same time, that's why, like, Thor Love and Thunder, I actually didn't like it because they took his character too goofy. Yeah. Ragnarok was still towing the line for me on some spots, actually.
Yeah, same.
Thor Love and Thunder, they went over the edge of making him too goofy. They ruined his character, in my opinion.
Easy.
So,
9.
Thor Dark World for me.
Really?
Yes.
I thought it might be higher for you.
No.
After your speech of being the most nostalgic.
The first one's higher for me.
Okay.
Thor Dark World, though, just because I haven't seen that one in a long time, but it still is very nostalgic for me, though. So it's in my top 10
it
because,
is just, like, quite dark and, like, it's different.
And I know the fandom doesn't love that one, but I enjoyed that one. And I watched that one a lot.
It's actually really good.
It is really good. Plus... looking back on it, I actually don't like Jane as a character. When I was in it, I loved her. I love Darcy, though. I will stand by Darcy till I die.
Yeah, Darcy.
She's the best character in the Thor universe, I swear. Like, she's iconic in that movie. She's so hilarious. And her with that intern guy is so funny.
He's so funny.
And so that movie, I very much enjoyed. And actually, I didn't mind the plot line. I thought it was kind of cool.
It was a really cool plot line.
Plus, you get a really good glimpse at one of the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
And, like, at the time, I didn't really understand all that lore yet.
Right.
But, like, looking back, it set me up for a lot of understanding it. So that's...
Yeah. It's a really
great builder one.
Really great builder for the whole
so what's your 9?
Universe. Black Panther.
I'm not surprised you put that higher than me. You've seen it more than me.
And, again, that was one that I was like, oh, what's this going to be about? And I was, like, blown away by how really amazing it was.
Honestly, I didn't have much expectations for that one. But Chadwick Boseman was so amazing. Is so amazing as him.
You'll make me cry again if we talk too much about him.
Yeah. So we'll move
because
on.
That's part of the reason why I still haven't even watched the second Black Panther.
I can't watch Wakanda Forever. Me either.
just purely because Chadwick.
That's same.
That's like the only. Like,
it's the only reason I haven't watched it because I know I don't think I can make it through.
I don't think I could handle it emotionally. No, like I can't. Not even, after since Endgame, he passed. I haven't even been able to watch the first Black Panther. Even
though I love that movie, and I know
I tried to, but I just started.
Even
sobbing.
Partly why I don't think I can watch Civil War as much either because. Mm-hmm. Anyways, yeah,
just really sad. So
okay, so number 8, Infinity Wars.
Same,
really,
yeah.
Just because, like, duh,
yeah, like it's got to be up there.
See,
it was
for me,
great.
It was a little bit higher than Endgame, just because I don't necessarily like it more, but it has more rewatchability for me because it's not quite as emotionally draining. Plus, 2, I just really love that one. I don't know what it is about the Russo brothers and making those 2 movies, but like. The way that they fed, because if you really think about it, there's so much happening at the same time in those movies. Like you have Thor's storyline, you have Iron Man, and then you have the Hulk come join him, and then you have Captain America and Wanda together, and Vision, and you have all these things happening at the same time. And the Guardians, but yet they feed it so seamlessly that it doesn't feel confusing,
right?
Or you're like, jumping around, but really you're jumping all over the universe.
Yeah, you're meeting. Everybody's meeting each other, and
but it doesn't feel jumbled.
So much is happening,
and like just that movie is just so amazing the way that they wrote it and produced it and just like brought it to life.
That and everybody's very much in their character now.
Oh like they're comfortable.
It's just
it feels very everybody's a really solid performance.
The dialogue,
I mean, that one scene, like the why is Gamora, where's Gamora? That scene's comedy gold, but like at the same time, it works because. You have enough context with each character to know, you understand it. Like with every in like the end fight scene, and it was so heartbreaking because like you've seen all this different stuff happening, and like you have a lot of context of them trying to, save everything. Everybody's trying to do trying their hardest to like stop it. Right. I just love that movie. It's just it's so good.
Heart stopping. I am inevitable.
The way my heart broke in that scene. I know. And I didn't cry at first because I was in such shock. My jaw was to the floor. My eyes were open wide. I wasn't breathing when it was just like, and then Bucky going, I can't even, like him just being like, Steve, and just like, Tom Holland, I don't feel so good. Heartbreaking.
I know. Well, and the thing is like,
that movie's just so amazing.
And we had to wait a year. I was in denial.
No, oh my gosh, I was in utter pieces after that.
It again cannot experience a movie like that ever again.
No, never.
Nothing will ever even come close to matching that.
Yeah, and like I said, the way the Russo brothers, like the way that they just did that, I'm like, what?
Phenomenal. Great.
Yeah, so
what's 8?
That was
8. 7.
No Way Home. Spider-Man No Way Home. The last one, yes. What's your 7?
Endgame.
That tracks for you.
Because, again, like,
Yeah.
And I put it up a bit more than Infinity War purely for the emotional damage it did to me.
That's why I did the opposite, because it was just too much. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh. So let's see, that was number 7.
Yeah, so number 6?
Thor, first one for me.
Wow.
Just because nostalgia's sake. Again, because like that is the first one I ever watched.
It's so pure.
And it's like the beginning. And I love him. He's honestly...
He's like a big old teddy bear in that one.
I just love his character, especially in that first one. Like, he's just so... You can't help but love him.
Right. Well, beautiful character growth.
Oh my gosh.
In the course of
just
one
in the first
movie.
one alone. Yes. And then I love every single character in that movie too. All of his friends. Loki, his parents.
Yeah.
Everything. I very much enjoyed it. So.
Yeah.
And I do love that, like, that one, there isn't really a villain. Necessarily,
right? It's like his own self, and Loki's kind of
like they're saying Loki
antagonizing stuff,
but there's not really like a main villain if you think about it.
No, because you can't really say that like the
like it wasn't
the ice giants or anything.
No, that's the frost giants. That's more of the
of Loki's again antagonizing things and manipulating the situation.
He doesn't have like necessarily like direct conflict with them.
No,
out of pure. You know what I mean?
Like, he does go and mess around there for a bit, but like again, it's kind of like idiotic naivety.
The whole plot of that one, honestly, is him becoming worthy,
right?
Which I really just love because it sets up his character so well. for where it goes until Love and Thunder when they ruined his character. But it sets up his character very well and his relationship with his parents, with his mom and his dad.
And gives us a glimpse of what him and like Loki are like.
Oh yeah. I love that movie. I just think it's very, very good. So
yeah.
What was your
mine
6?
Is Iron Man 2.
Oh, okay.
Which might be surprising, but honestly, like, I love Iron Man 2.
Again, I couldn't tell you what happens in that
one. I love, like, that's one of my favorite ones.
I only know a few things.
Of all the Iron Man movies, that's definitely by far my favorite. Yeah. I watched that one a lot. That's a more nostalgic one for mine. Yep, that's when we meet Black Widow. So I think that's probably part of it.
I love him in all of them.
Yeah, I love Happy.
John Favreau just me.
I really enjoyed I can't remember the villain's name now because he kind of has a hard name. Yeah,
I don't know.
And I really enjoyed his character.
He's a good villain.
It made for some really fun fight scenes.
Like the one on the racetrack is iconic.
Yes, like.
And I do love him and Pepper in that one too.
And you get to see him and Rhodey, and like Rhodey take up a suit too, and that's kind of that's when you get to meet like the War Machine kind of, and you know. Yeah. It's just a lot of building and his character growth. Like, he's definitely matured a bit. Is less and you have the whole layer of he's dying, like, through that whole movie.
That's true.
And he's kind of...
the character growth of him and Pepper in that one a lot.
Right, like, so he's being a total douche throughout most of the movie because he's, like, given up. And then he, saves his life, figures stuff out. Has a ton of beautiful growth.
As we're talking about this, I did not put Age of Ultron on my list. And I'm regretting this.
Idiot, what are you doing?
I don't know. Why did I forget about that movie on this list? I'm inserting that, like, somewhere. It's pretty high on my list. Let's just put that out there right now. I'm just realizing this. We're talking about this because I'm thinking about him and Pepper, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love them in the movies. And I'm like, I didn't put Age of Ultron on my list.
Yeah, which she's not in that one.
No, she's not. But I don't know what made me think of that. But that one, is that one on your list?
Yeah.
Is that your next one?
Yeah.
Number 5
number 5.
My number 5 is Ant-Man. Because again,
yeah,
that one to me is so funny, and I could quote that one pretty good. And I've seen it a good amount of times, and I would choose to watch that one for sure. Like, it's one of the ones, my top ones, I'd be like, let's turn that one on.
But Age of Ultron, for me, honestly, love that movie.
I'm going to say that there's a tie there because I'm going to insert it because I forgot to include that one, and I love Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
That one's so funny.
And again, it's kind of one of the ones that the fans are like, oh, we don't love. But it's actually really good. Like, Ultron?
Well, the opening, first of all, is amazing.
Yeah.
And then you get Wanda and Quicksilver.
Yeah.
But Ultron is such a sick villain.
I know. He's like one of my favorite villains.
Because he's got that really creepy kind of aspect. Because honestly, eventually that could actually happen, not gonna lie. AI,
right. It's kind of like...
But like also...
realistic.
Yeah.
And
he's such a good villain.
Very good villain.
I love that villain.
Good voice work.
Yes.
And...
plus, I love... that movie to me is hilarious. Because there's a lot of really funny scenes.
Yeah, like... and
again, like the opening, they make fun of Cap.
Humor. Yeah.
Oh, the Avengers movies have such great humor. Like them all
together.
And that
was like a really good one. And you had the full team.
Plus, I think compared to the first Avengers, they're a lot more comfortable, obviously, because they bring out more. So like the humor is even better.
Yes, and the costuming and the set work and everything
like that
is better.
Ant-Man at number 5. I'm just putting it out there.
But yeah, that's one of my favorites. I really enjoy getting to meet Wanda and Pietro. Yeah, Quicksilver. Oh. I will say. They took him away from us too soon. That is a death I have never gotten over.
No, I agree. Justice for Pietro, okay?
Because that, like, I've never been so pissed off.
All I will say, I feel like that moment solidified for me, though, my love of Wanda, because her acting
was amazing.
Of showing that, I was like, oh my gosh.
It rips my heart out every time. And it's one of those scenes
where they cut out the sound, and I'm like, why'd you do that to me? But at the same time, thank you, because
like so much more.
I'm like, oh yeah, that movie.
And for like the way they took her character, it makes sense. And like, okay, fine. But I'm just sad we didn't get to see more of him.
I know
he stole the show.
Which
he
again,
did an amazing job.
We should talk about we're gonna talk about each character's growth. I think because I have opinions on everybody.
Yeah, we should really do more.
We really are going to dive deep into these because here's the thing.
Since we're talking about it again, it's like reigniting my love
because again,
for it all.
My opinion on where they took Wanda in her show, love and hate, and so I really want to talk about it because you know what I've been doing. Okay, number 4, the first Avengers movie for me. It's in my top 5 because it's so nostalgic, but at the same time, I just love that movie. I don't know what it is.
It's like a little corny.
It is, but
cheesy.
It's just so quintessentially.
It's amazing. Yes,
and all the characters coming together for the first time. The core 6.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have nothing.
And like Loki is iconic.
Oh, I love Tom Hiddleston. I could just wrap him up in a little box and keep him forever. I love him so much. Yeah.
My number 4 is Thor: The Dark World.
What?
Yeah.
I'm actually so surprised.
Because, like, I would choose to watch that one over some of the others. Just because I love it. Thor, like, if I look at Thor's trilogy, he is the only one who has a trilogy that I would watch on repeat.
I agree. Besides, we're excluding Love and Thunder.
We are forgetting that Love and Thunder ever happened. Yeah. That just needs to be burned from my retina.
Yeah.
And
no, but I'm saying I agree, though, because here's the thing. All of his movies are gold.
Amazing.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
the only other one that could compete is Spider-Man. And I, again, bottom of my list because I just don't care quite as much about Spider-Man as I do Thor.
Yeah.
So that's why he's up there.
I would agree with you. Actually, both of those guys' movies are really well done.
Yeah, those are like, I mean, I will like sit down and watch all the Iron Mans because I'm like, oh, I'm in the mood to like, you know, watch them all.
First of all, for me, I wouldn't choose to watch any of the Iron Mans. Sorry.
But it would take way more for me. I'd have to be like in a super nostalgic mood, and I'd be kind of grumbling a bit through the first one and through the last one.
Captain America,
grumble a little in the first one.
Yeah, the other two would be fine.
Yeah.
But Thor and Spider-Man, you're so right.
Thor, like that's one of the few that I watched again and again and again. Yeah, like nostalgic all for me,
3. And I think too that's why you knew that I would love those ones. That's how you got me to watch them because you talked me into like you're like okay. Because I was so anti, like, those types of movies. I wasn't really into them at all. But okay, number 3.
Thor Ragnarok.
Civil War.
Really?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
Do you know why?
Because you really like Spider-Man?
No. No, it's the first one I ever saw in the theater.
Oh.
That one, like, that solidified my love of the fandom, I would say. Because I got into Thor. Yeah. And then you made me watch Avengers and stuff like that, obviously. But going to see Civil War in the theater for my first ever Marvel experience, I will never forget
Solidified it. Yeah.
I will never forget it. Because it was like, it was so exciting.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. It felt like another Avengers movie to me, but like a different level, like just different vibes. I loved getting to see again like Ant-Man and Spider-Man, and Black Panther and everybody.
I mean, it is a good movie.
Yeah, so for me, it's my top 3. It's my top 3.
Hey, Ragnarok. I mean, what else can I say?
Ragnarok.
I have the hardest time. I can never say it right.
Yeah, I know. You're like Ragnarok.
It's been years.
There's no second R. It's Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
Closer.
Ragnarok.
Yeah, there you go.
I've always struggled with that. But it's one of my favorites. Loki is at his prime. I love Thor. I love Thor's development.
Tom Hiddleston's so hot in the movie too. Okay. Number 2.
Avengers. The first one.
Far From Home.
Why, you freaking psycho.
I told you you're going to be so shook where that one was on my list.
See, Avengers, I mean, what can I say besides
that's what we're talking about it. Like,
so nostalgic.
It is.
And out of all of these, it's one of the ones I've seen the most. Like, I could easily quote it.
That's why it's number 4 for me. Like, because it's golden.
Oh, just so perfect. Okay, and now for the moment we've all been waiting for.
Number 1.
Pretty obvious.
Yep. Captain America Winter Soldier. The best Marvel movie ever made. Fight me on it. Fight me. You will. There's nothing.
There's nothing you could say to me to convince me that wasn't the most amazing movie we've ever had in our entire lives.
Nope. You couldn't tell me anything, and I'd be like, I don't believe you. Like, or something like, I'd be like, no, and sorry, your opinion does not matter.
Really though?
No.
What? Like, I'm speechless. I can't. I'm still not over it. Like,
no. And the fact that I watched, that I didn't watch that in theater, honestly, is criminal to me. But it's fine. I'll get over it eventually. It probably won't. But I remember watching after we watched Thor, and then I wanted to watch Captain America because the new one was coming out, obviously.
Yep.
And we watched the first one, and then like since I hadn't really been into it, I didn't really grasp watching the second one that was Bucky for a second. I was like, wait, who is that? And you had to like tell me, and I was like,
right.
I was like, wait, back up. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What?
I mean, plot twist.
The biggest plot twist.
Huge.
And plus, Chris Evans in that movie.
Phenomenal. His
performance is so good. Honestly, I feel like people get so weird about Marvel movies or superhero movies in general, being like, well, all they have to do is have muscles, or like it's not like that deep. Okay, no, actually, you try doing that, honestly. Giving that big of a performance, the pressure that goes with it. You do have to have the physique for it, which is hard. Not everybody can do that, first of all.
Right.
Second of all, you have to still the character still has emotional depth.
Right. Unless you want it to just be a boring ass movie.
His best friend that he thought died 70 something years ago shows up alive and well trying to kill him.
And it completely shakes.
Tell me that was not an amazing performance.
Life.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And then you have Black Widow in it, which I love that she's the one in that movie with him. And you meet
I
Sam on your left. Iconic.
Yep.
That made me cry at Endgame. I sobbed my eyes out.
Yes.
The throwback. Nothing about that movie is wrong. I'm not kidding.
No, it's seriously so good. And again, I've seen it so many times I could quote it.
Oh, yeah.
Start
because that is the one, too, that you and we watched that one a ton together.
Yeah. Well, I swear, I was watching it every single night.
You were.
For months.
You were really in
100% my comfort movie.
Yeah.
Still to this day.
And again, if I was to watch any of them, if I would I want to watch more movie, that's when I would turn on.
That's the first one I'm picking.
Yep.
If there's ever a day that I say that's not my favorite movie or my favorite Marvel movie,
I would think you're a clone.
I know, I've probably been possessed.
I would think something's wrong. I'm are you dying? Do you have a brain tumor?
That's
because
always,
actually,
anytime someone's like, "What's your favorite movie?" Captain America: Winter Soldier. And
nothing competes.
Nothing. All the others, great, good, amazing. Maybe the action was even better. Maybe it was more epic, but it just can't compare with
their fight scene and the knife thing.
Yes.
Black Widow's fight scenes.
How heart-wrenching it is at the end. He's
oh my gosh, the ending.
He does not want to kill his friend, even though his friend is doing everything in his power to kill him. And he just still.
And then you see the moment Bucky starts to because
wake up a little.
You see a couple moments, and then they freaking fry it out of him.
Yeah.
And first of all, too, Sebastian Stan's performance as Bucky.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I will tell you my favorite Marvel characters. Bucky and Loki.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. Actually. Because something about those two.
Yeah, it's
as far as villain goes, anti-heroes, I love them. And Sebastian Stan as Bucky is just I don't know what more to say.
And also and not only is he having to deal with his friend coming back from the dead, but
S.H.I.E.L.D. is falling.
And it's because of the same thing that he fought.
Hydra. Yep.
Yeah, Hydra.
I love that.
And so, it totally, he goes through so much. And,
again, I'm saying, people that don't give him enough credit for his role as Captain America, because they chalk it up to just being a superhero movie.
No.
Of it not having any, no. There's so much. Yeah. There is. His character has so much going on.
I know. He's just getting thrown through the ringer. Can't trust anybody.
No. The elevator scene in that movie.
Oh, yeah. Amazing.
I'm sorry.
That's still one of my favorite action scenes ever made.
It's so badass.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to get out before we get started?
Jaw drop.
Sorry, but that's just amazing.
I'll never get over it.
Them being undercover, the mall, everything about that movie is so good.
I will say the one thing.
Oh, the chemistry that they had, the weird chemistry. Yes. Why did they do that?
No. Why didn't they do more?
Well, it's the thing. They did it and then they didn't give us anything after
that. I know.
I'm why? Why?
They should be together.
I hate that then they had some weird chemistry between her and
the Hulk. That never happened.
They have no chemistry to me.
No.
It felt so off-brand.
Yeah.
And the jump from going to Captain America, freaking Winter Soldier, and Civil War to then Ultron.
Yeah.
And that's the weird jump where all of a sudden they're flirting. I'm ew.
Yeah, I'm sorry, what's happening?
Ew, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm pissed because they did not give us enough of her and Cap.
Not at all.
They gave us little crumbs and they're just kidding.
In my mind, they're together.
Me too.
In my mind,
they died together and they're together in heaven.
No, I'm in the there's fan theories, that he went back in time and that he did go say hi to Peggy and whatever.
And then he
went and found Natasha. And
I love that way more.
Living out alive together.
There you go. I love that way more.
I know. That's how it happened. You heard it here
first. Well, they
first.
have the best chemistry.
Yeah. Easy.
Besides, honestly, I will say one of my favorite couples actually might be the Wanda and Vision.
Yeah, I do really like
actually love them.
Vision. But yeah, that wraps up our top 20.
Mm-hmm.
As you may now notice, we are a little bit into Marvel movies.
And let's just mention the ones that we did not talk about.
How about the worst movies ever made?
It's just sad to me. That's where we've ended up now. But anyways, so there's some that we're definitely not fans of. We are fans up until pretty much Endgame for me. Far From Home. I mean, No Way Home.
Well, yeah, same.
Okay, good.
I also
up until No Way Home.
Just because I didn't rank it higher, and I did still like Black Widow. Me. Like, well enough. Yeah, like, it's starting to go downhill.
I think for sure we're going to dive deep into character arcs because I think that we both have a lot of opinions about where they took the characters. Yeah. For sure. Like, the main, like, the core 6, I think, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, like, we could discuss
because, like, I want to talk about Wanda and Vision. Yeah. Some of those ones I'm just like, wow. Like,
and I would like to get into more of that. So in the near future, but for today, that's our top 20. Yep. Let us know if you agree or disagree, or what your top 20 would be, or
top 5,
top 5, whatever you want to do.
Top 3. But yeah, thanks
Marvel back in the good old days
before everything went to crap. But yeah, so thanks for watching, listening or whatever. Go follow us everywhere we're at: Instagram, TikTok, Spotify.
Everything's tagged down below.
Everything.
So yeah, and then until next week, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.